What's up, everybody? MegaBuzzBuzz here, buzzing at you for a new little segment I like to call The Buzz. Yep, I am so creative when it comes to making names. So what we're going to do here on The Buzz is that we're going to go over specific Pokemon, their movesets, and what we can do to make them competitive. You see this everywhere, but I like to do a little twist on these things. Not really, I don't do really a twist on these things, but you're going to hear me do it instead of other people. But I'm going to try to do Pokemon that a lot of other people don't really cover, so you don't hear the same thing over and over and over again. So I'm going to try to stay away from things like Kangaskhan, Hydreigon, and other things, but you will see me overlapping with some other PokeTubers on Pokemon that they've already done build videos for, and I will try to reference them when I can. It may not be 100% of the time, but just be warned that I will go over some pokes that you may have already seen before. But my first time, and you've probably maybe have already seen this one before, but it's Vaporeon. And Vaporeon here can do really good as just one thing. It's got one thing going for it, and that's its walling potential. This Pokemon is a really good wall, be it in singles or doubles or whatever that you play. And I have three sets here that I'd like to go over today, one being a hydration set, one being the Wish Passer, and one being a Surf Wall support that I actually went up against one time, really enjoyed playing against, and it was just one of the most crazy battles of my life. But we're going to start things off here with the hydration, and you see here, and if you saw on all three of my my builds here, the item is always leftovers. That is the one item that you probably always need on your Vaporeons, because leftovers just do so well for it. It provides that gradual recovery, and it's a really good item. But the hydration one, why there's leftovers here and not a Chesto Berry or a Lum Berry or anything of that sort, is hydration. Now, hydration, so long as it's raining, your status is cured at the end of every turn. That's really good. So we have rest here for that. So rest hydration is one of those crazy combos that you can just heal up automatically to full health and then wake up at the end of the turn, so long as it's raining. That being said, you can, for this fourth slot here, you can have a number of things. You can have Toxic if you're running it in a double standpoint, or if you're running it in like a fast singles switch out, because Vaporeon has a lot of things it can safely switch into. If you're running it in doubles, you could do Toxic and you could do Helping Hand here. Helping Hand is always that good support move, making your allies move power 1.5 times its original power, which can really help you out in the long run, especially when it comes to some damaging moves, maybe be it Earthquake. I don't think you want to Helping Hand at Earthquake, but a Hyper Voice, a Surf, and anything that's like spread, Rock Slide, anything that takes that spread decrease in doubles would really love a Helping Hand to, well, I guess you could say to help it out. Obviously with the Rest Hydration set, you're going to run Rest. Ice Beam and Scald are just there because those are moves that are really important on Vaporeon. It helps it just do some damage. Scald's always good because you get that burn, and especially since this thing's going to be playing in the rain a lot because of hydration, Scald's just going to do a lot of damage. It's going to have that base 110 special attack here, which is really good even with no investment, so you can invest anything you like in the bulk. I'm not really going to go into EV spreads because those are up to you, really. You could do a 252 HP and maybe split your defenses at like 124, 128-ish. Just to split your defenses, go with your natures. You always want to go like maybe bold, go bold, or that other nature. That other nature that does special defense instead of defense but lowers your attack. Let's actually find out what that is really quick. That is Calm. Okay, Calm. Why? Okay, I don't know why I didn't remember that. But those two natures are always really good on your Vaporeon. It doesn't have much going for it in speed, so there's no point in really investing into that. Special attack at that base 110 will put some chip damage no matter what. It'll do some nice chunk of damage even with no investment. So that's the hydration set here. Like I said, with this Helping Hand slot, you can either go with Toxic, Helping Hand. If you're running it in singles and you plan on like leading with it, or you just need something to rain, you can put Rain Dance on it, which would be nice. A preferred partner here would obviously be Politoed. Politoed just loves the rain too, loves setting it up. And we're going to move on to this Wish Pass set here. Now, Wish Pass, this is pretty self-explanatory. You pretty much take off that rest for Wish and Protect. So you could just wish off something, switch into something else. Protect up, take that wish for yourself. This Helping Hand can once again be replaced by Toxic. This is more what people like to do in singles more so than doubles. because wish passing is really helpful in singles, and it's really helpful in niche sets, maybe like rotation. Rotation wish pass is a must. You always have to have something that wish passes just for that nice heal that you can always get. So helping hand maybe isn't the best move on this unless you wanted to run this in doubles. So I would probably prefer onto Toxic, or if you want this slot to be your Ice Beam because you're missing it a lot, or if you want it to be Vaporeon gets some really neat stuff like Acid Armor, boosting your defense by to +2. It gets things like it gets a lot of things. It gets things like Roar so you can get people who stat boost out. It gets Yawn. There's a lot of utility that you can be put on here, and with Wish Pass, any one of the abilities can really help. Hydration or Water Absorb. It just depends on what you're doing. It just really depends on what you want Vaporeon there for. In singles, Water Absorb would probably be what you want, so you could switch in onto those Scalds by the Greninjas, or the Hydro Pumps from the Greninjas, the Scalds from various other Pokemon that get Scald and just like to burn things. Now going on to my favorite of the three, the Surf Wall Support. Now, the Surf Wall I encountered against a Mono Water Trainer, and he in a triples battle, and his whole team. How this was set up is that the whole team consists of Water Pokemon, because it's a Mono team, that have the ability Water Absorb. And it's dastardly. It just like all the Pokemon use Surf. Now you see that I don't have Surf here because I completely forgot the meaning of Surf Wall for some reason. So they just all use Surf, and you know how Surf hits your partner too? Well, Water Absorb would trigger and just heal. So his entire side would just be healing 25% of their HP. The Pokemon in the middle would heal 75% of their HP every turn. Well, no, 50%, because it would get hit with 2 Surfs. And then heaven forbid you decide to Scald it. No, it was not a fun thing to go up against. The way I won is that I had a King's Rock on my Greninja. Now, before you make fun of me, that Greninja helped me win this battle, and it was a physical kit Greninja with Water Shuriken, and that's why I had King's Rock on it. But I also had Power Up Punch, so I decided to Power Up Punch, get that +1, and that Power Up Punch gave me the King's Rock flinch, and then from there I could turn the entire game around, and I found a way to win. And I'm still, to this day, very surprised that I won on my first try against a team like this. But going into the Surf Wall support, you obviously need your Surf for your other partners that have that Water Absorb. Your Scald, just to put those burns on things. Helping Hand, if you want to boost your partner's Surf, feeling that he can do more damage than you. There's a bunch of Pokemon that have higher Surf damage than Vaporeon. And so you can just really help out your partner with that Helping Hand, especially since you don't put any investment in this special attack. But you could on this set if you really wanted to, since you're relying on your partner to heal you up a lot. So I guess for here you could really do your 252 split and special attack speed. Go for that timid nature. Maybe outspeed some things that would just not like it if Vaporeon outsped. And you could do, instead of Helping Hand here, you could Toxic for that Toxic Stall Madness. Muddy Water I decided to throw on this set mainly because even though it has that really low base 85 accuracy, and I have trust issues when it comes to this accuracy stuff. I don't trust any move that has like 80% accuracy because it fails for me every time I need it. Gunk Shot being the biggest offender to that, and that's why I feel that Greninja does, like how there's been those bans that like how Greninja's too overpowered because it gets Gunk Shot and Low Kick. You can say what you like on that one. It's not really going to phase me. I'm not really going to argue about it. That's just my little opinion, that Gunk Shot's accuracy is way too low for you to even care, to even put that in consideration. But the 85% accuracy, I can forgive it here because it is a spread damage move. It does get stabbed from Muddy Water, and it has a chance to lower accuracy, which can really hurt your opponent in the long run. But this Surf Wall set here, this isn't the exact moveset that he used. I mean, obviously there's way too many water stabs to even think this is a good set. But you could run other things on this one. You could run Refresh. Well, maybe not Refresh. I don't know if he gets that. Does he get... There's some of the new stuff that he gets that I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but Vaporeon can still use them all to utility. I think he gets Heal Bell now. through Move Tutor, which is really good. You could still use the Yawn if you would like. You could still do like your Acid Armor, and you could baton pass that Acid Armor if you're feeling that. It doesn't have to be specifically for this Surf Wall support. You could just These are just random things that Vaporeon can actually do. That's It's just really neat. If you want to be weird, you can run stored power on it with that acid armor. You could curse set it. I don't know why you would curse set it, but curse set giving that defense bonus, and then maybe you could find a physical move that it likes, like waterfall. I don't know. But Vaporeon just has this move pool that all like the Eevees do. It's you just take an evolution, throw water in there instead of its element, and you got Vaporeon. The evolutions are really good about having some random niche things that can really help it out. Like Quick Attack. Maybe not on Vaporeon, but I've seen some Sylveons run Quick Attack, and it always throws me off every time I see it. Shadow Ball, definitely. Everything runs Shadow Ball nowadays for the Aegislashes and stuff like that. A lot of evolutions do that too. But here we have these three sets with Vaporeon and the Surf Wall one that I really screwed up giving you examples. But yeah, these are some examples that Vaporeon could do. Vaporeon, like I said, being a really good wall, being just a really reliable wall. It doesn't have that many fallbacks towards it. It just has maybe that low defensive stat, that low defense of 60, and that mediocre 95. It's kind of maybe a little bit of a turnoff to things like Suicune that are out there now in VGC, but that base 130 in HP, that kind of turns it all around. You're just like, wow, that's really high. It likes that. But if you decide to run maybe a physically defensive set, invest in that acid armor definitely. That +2 in defense can really do some work, especially if you run something with Intimidate right alongside it. You get a +2 defense, they get a -1 to attack. Vaporeon's not taking any damage anytime soon, especially in this hydration stuff right here, with the rest in the rain, and it just automatically comes back up. That being said, a lot of things that some partners that Vaporeon would really like with this Wish Pass set, you do want to keep it protected, sort of, especially when it's getting off this Wish. But besides that, it can really hold its own. You want it to make sure you can cover everything that it can't. It doesn't get a whole lot of moves for coverage. It gets that Ice Beam, gets that Scald, and it's what it can hit what it can't hit outweighs what it can, if you know what I'm saying on that one. So make sure you put it next to somebody that can really cover its base on that. Maybe something that can just deal some heavy damage. Now, mind you, if you put it next to something that could deal really heavy damage, they're not going to worry about the Vaporeon. A lot of people know that Vaporeon can't hit a lot super effectively. It can't hit a lot, but there's more that it can hit, terribly. I guess I should have worded that better, but that Scald and the Ice Beam, there's a lot more things that those can't hit versus it can, in like the VGC community and stuff like that. So they're not going to see Vaporeon as a huge threat. So you gotta keep your stuff protected. This is where this Wish Pass can come in. You can switch out your main attacker on that one, come in, wish it up, then switch it back in on something, then switch that attacker back in, get that free 50%. Or you could go with this Surf Wall. I mean, a lot of people, not really a lot of people, but this Surf Wall could really do some damage. Maybe not in a VGC, but maybe in like some fun time stuff. Just some fun stuff that you could throw around a whole team of Water Absorb. That's kind of funny, and a lot of people won't expect it. Especially the guy ran, if I remember, he ran a Water Absorb Politoed too, and I saw that thing. I remember that thing coming out, and I'm just like, why? It's not raining. Help! Well, why isn't it raining? But then I found out that it was Water Absorb, wanted to use Surf, and he ran Rain Dance onto the Politoed. So you had the Surfs in the rain with the Pokemon Water Absorb. It's 7.8 out of 10, too much water. But but yeah, like I said, Vaporeon's a really good wall. It has a lot of things going for it. Definitely give it a shot. Vaporeon's a really good Pokemon that deserves some love. But that's pretty much all I got to say about Vaporeon. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any comments, anything about what I should have said, any other ideas, feel free to post them in the comments. I would always enjoy your feedback on what I need to work on, especially with these videos, especially since I'm really new. I've only been going at this for about a little less than a month, maybe give or take a month, a couple days. Give or take a couple days to a month. I got to work on my speaking sometimes too. But definitely provide some feedback. Definitely give this video a like. Give me a subscribe. Post your suggestions in the comments. I need suggestions of Pokemon to keep this show running. I have a couple more lined up. I'm not going to tell you what they are just yet, but I have a couple more lined up that I would definitely love to give a shot and show you guys here. One of them coming up, I will do another collaboration with Ian Let's VGC. That one, definitely look out for that one, because that one's going to be kind of funny to look at, and a lot of people are going to give me some weird looks for the Pokemon I decided to choose. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Definitely give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me some feedback. You know, everything I just said in the past 2 minutes. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching.